Giraffe Social Media Podcast. It's what social media managers are talking about. I'm Laura, and today I'm joined by some great members of the Giraffe team. We've got social media manager Ellie.
Hello.
Social media manager Tyla, who's joining us for the first time.
Hello.
And social media assistant Chloe.
Hi.
So, as always, in our coffee break episodes, we will bring a topic to the table that we want to have a chat about and get each other's thoughts on over a cuppa or a drink. Today, I'm drinking squash, cherries and berries because it's my favourite. What about you guys? What are you drinking, Chloe?
Do you know what? I'm on water right now, but I just made myself like a tropical smoothie earlier. And I kicked myself because I knew we were going to be recording this and I was like, oh, I should have saved it for the potty. But I'm just on waters for the moment.
Ellie?
I got water as well, although I did have a protein shake just a minute ago. I should have kept that for this as well. But water at the moment.
Love it. Tyler?
Also on water.
Oh my gosh, we are staying hydrated today. Well, I've got a question to get us started. Which social media platform do you spend the most time on? What about you, Ellie?
Without a doubt, like TikTok. Once you get into your niche, like onto your side of TikTok, the content is just like 10 out of 10. Like at the moment I'm on like spirituality side of TikTok, and like you don't have to see any, like, you know, on Instagram you always end up seeing unwanted stuff that you didn't actually like subscribe to, sort of thing, whereas like TikTok is just like so like the content I want. So it's just like a vortex. You just start scrolling on it and then like 3 hours pass.
I'm the exact same. I spend a lot of time on Instagram as well. So for me, it's crossed between Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. But TikTok, yeah. I mean, before bed, I'm like, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And before I know it, it's 1 a.m. I need to sleep. What about you, Chloe?
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I would say Instagram probably just tips TikTok, but it's definitely between those two are my top used at the moment.
It's funny because when TikTok first started being a bit more of a craze, I think towards the beginning of last year, I remember you, Chloe, like hated it, I'm sure.
I know. I'm like a full those like podcast episodes are going to come back to haunt me because I'm like I'm addicted to TikTok now.
I love it. It hooks us all. What about you, Tyler?
Definitely TikTok as well. I've been spending a lot of time on Pinterest actually recently, but I think it's just because I'm dreaming of when we can go out and do stuff again. So I'm like building all of my dream boards. But definitely TikTok, hands down. Like it's too addictive.
It is. It really is. Amazing. Thank you, guys. So this week we're going to be discussing the influence social media has on our purchasing behaviour and all things we bought because of social. So globally, obviously, people have started using social media, for example, TikTok particularly, and Instagram, and all other social platforms, to be fair, to share their experiences. And as customers, we often share any product reviews, tips and tricks, like recommendations, all of that kind of jazz. And as social media users, we have so many connections. I don't know about you guys, like my follow count varies on different platforms, or like friend count. But obviously all of those people combined creates a lot of connections, and it's the same for everyone. So therefore, like, information is consumed by many people. And this information then becomes a source of influence on consumers and their buyer behaviour. I don't know if you guys, being avid TikTok fans, have seen like one of the most recent trends, which is TikTok made me buy. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, definitely.
Where people share, basically, people create videos of all the things TikTok has specifically made them buy, basically. And this can range from anything from like skincare, makeup, like handy kitchen gadgets, even anything like that. And I know for one, like I am really, really influenced by people's recommendations, to the point where I would say there's not a lot of things I would buy without having seen it on social or had someone recommend it in some way. What about you guys? Like, have you bought because of social before? Like, what's your take on it?
I haven't seen the like TikTok made me buy it on TikTok, but I have seen like people make videos like Amazon must-haves or like things you should buy on like a certain website or whatever. So on TikTok, I know I recently bought a jump rope, like a skipping rope, because I saw some fitness girl share that if you skip for 10 minutes a day, that's like the equivalent of running or jogging for 30 minutes. And I thought, yes, like life hack. Um, so I bought a skipping rope. I was really into it for a few weeks. I haven't done it in a while because I'm telling myself I'm waiting for it to warm up again before I go and skip in my garage. So fingers crossed I whip it out again soon. But yeah, that's definitely like one thing I bought from TikTok at least.
For sure, for sure. What about you, Ellie? Have you been tempted?
I don't think for like a specific brand, but definitely in terms of like I'm quite into skincare, and so if I see someone with like a 10-step skincare routine, I'm like, okay, I need that. Like I won't go for like their specific brands, but I'll end up going to buy loads of more skincare because of that. So yeah, not like a specific like influencer brand collaboration, but if I see someone's got something like a routine that I want, then I'll go and investigate it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm the exact same. Like, so many times when I've been out shopping or even online shopping and I'll see something, I think, oh, I saw a TikTok of someone using that, like, gotta buy it. It's going straight in my basket because I think it just sort of goes to show, I think, that that social influence is almost, particularly like with what's going on in the world right now, is almost like replaced like face to face recommendations, would you say?
Yeah.
Like, would you say you're personally more likely to buy something if it's been recommended to you? Or not to you specifically, but in general, if it's been recommended on social?
I definitely do. Like, I know there's that old saying where people buy from people, not from brands.
Yeah.
So, like, I won't, if a brand's in my face on social media trying to sell me stuff, I'm like, please, like, just leave me alone. Like, I don't follow brands on social media. I don't need that kind of, like, salesy kind of stuff on my feed. But if like an influencer recommends something or if someone shares something on TikTok that looks really cool, I'm like, yeah, I'm on that. Like, I'm gonna buy that. They didn't even recommend it to me. I just saw it. I'm like, yep, sold. Like, send me the link.
What about you, Tyler? Have you bought something because of social?
So I've never bought something specifically because of TikTok, but one thing that I did get roped into was an Instagram page on Instagram, yes. It's called the Adventure Challenge, and it's a company that basically builds this like book, and they exploded on Instagram over lockdown. I don't know if you guys had seen it. But they literally are a company and they build this book of like at-home adventures that you can do, and it's a whole like scrapbook that you build, so you can buy a camera along with the actual book and take pictures and record like all of these things that you can do, and it's really really cool. So that was one thing that definitely I saw it and I was like, I need this, like I need this in my life. But other than that, I don't think so. But also definitely agree that I get pulled into things when influencers and even just like my friends and stuff, like if my friend has got something on Instagram that they share a story about, I'm like, oh okay, gotta go get that, like. And I think it's just because you trust it more. So
Yeah, definitely. I think like Little Moons are probably a great
yeah,
example
I'm still
of
trying to get my
how
hands on them because I haven't been able to get them anywhere.
I did manage to get some, but not in the freezer section. I got the chocolate ganache ones, I think, which are in the fridge
Ooh,
section in
yeah.
Asda. But in Tesco, not been able to find them. And obviously, for those that don't know, Little Moons are like, which you probably do, are like mochi balls, aren't they? Japanese, traditional Japanese dessert. And Little Moons, the brand, have been around for ages. And TikTok is still unsure about which was the first video to sort of blow up and make Little Moons go viral. But videos on TikTok with the hashtag Little Moons have over 96.5 million views. And according to research, sales are up by 1,300% for Little Moons. So I think it's safe to say that like social media trends and buyer behavior like cannot be understated. And the thing is, I probably would have no interest in Little Moons if I just walked past them in the supermarket, but because I've seen them on social, I'm like, I have to find them. I have to find them. So the hunt is still on for the passion fruit and mango ones.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
definitely.
that sounds good. Have you guys, do you think that like different platforms influence you to buy different things? Like I know for me, like Instagram typically will influence me to buy more like fashion kind of pieces, like clothes or shoes, and then YouTube is kind of more like the beauty and skincare and makeup kind of thing, and then for me I think TikTok is just like random stuff, like Amazon stuff probably. So I like all three platforms just like accumulate to me just spending all my money on just things I probably don't need. Like I think the most I've spent on something was the Balenciaga sneakers that were like massive. Like a year or two ago I think I dropped like $2,000 on them when I went to LA, like just because everyone was wearing them. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, like why not? Which to be fair, like they are probably my most worn sneakers. Like they're so comfortable and I don't regret it, but I just looking back I'm like, that's a lot of money to spend on something just because everyone on social media was like also spending money on them.
No, for sure. I think the same. I think Instagram probably more fashion based for influence over me, and TikTok I think everything else. Like TikTok, I would say like a lot of my makeup and skincare and hair care collection has come from TikTok generally. Not, and that's like even to the point where it's like I've seen a TikTok months ago and then even now I'm still like thinking about those products. Or for example like I don't know if you saw like the whole, again, a trend with the hair volumizer, like the dryer.
Oh, was it that Rev? Is it the Revlon?
Revlon.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. In fact, I think that went on my Christmas list because I was like, someone else can get that for me. But just everything like that. And I think like the influence of social proof is now huge. Like admittedly, social proof isn't sort of a new concept because we are all social and we've been giving recommendations to each other for centuries. But now these recommendations sort of be seen by hundreds or even thousands of people. So I think it just goes to show how powerful social can be on our buyer behavior.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I was reading a report released by like an influencer marketing company recently, and they were talking about like consumer trends over lockdown. Like obviously, I think most of us have done a lot of random purchases over the past year and a half just because of lockdown. Like that's the only thing that we can do, right? It's like online shopping. And it was interesting because previous to lockdown, like before COVID was around, I think the top kind of accounts to follow on Instagram were like music based, travel based, obviously, like that kind of thing. And then as soon as lockdown hit, it was more like fitness and like wellness and like personal health, like that kind of stuff was really, really popular. And those sort of accounts like saw the most growth. So do you think that did you get sucked into lockdown purchases?
Oh, definitely. I think I've probably bought about 10 pairs of sweatpants since lockdown began because I don't wear anything else now. So 100%, like they sucked me in properly.
I like absolutely got sucked in by like the fitness trend. Like I think through lockdown, and I bought like probably like 5 sets of gym sets. I bought 2 sets of dumbbells, like a gym mat, my skipping rope, like a booty band, like all this crazy stuff, which I still do use, and I'm glad that I did buy it. But it definitely like that sort of thing didn't interest me before lockdown, and it's presented like a great opportunity to kind of like get in shape. But like that's got to be at least 200-300 pounds just right there spent throughout lockdown. So it's kind of interesting. Hey,
I got into photography during lockdown because obviously we were only allowed out once a day for like a walk. So I followed a lot of photography accounts. And then when they share like the kind of cameras they use and the different like lenses and all that, I was like, okay, well, I need all of that then. Like I'm a brand new photographer, but I need all of this. And I spent so much on all this like Canon like photography equipment and things. And now my feed is pretty much exclusively, I suppose I strayed away from the exercise world like you, Chloe. And I was like, no, photography is a bit easier. So I'll go for that instead. So all my feed now is just photographer after photographer, which is good. I wouldn't have got, like, it's a new hobby that I wouldn't have got without lockdown and without Instagram. So
there you go. Amazing. We have something to thank capitalism for. I never thought we'd say it.
I found myself throughout lockdown had replaced like buying going out clothes or going out outfits for staying in outfits. So similar to you, Tyla, like my pajama collection has grown by 10 times what it was before. And again, like just comfy clothes. And I think I sort of fell into the trap of like seeing everyone on social like being comfy and cozy. Like there's got to be sort of one good thing to come out of lockdown, surely, and I think that's probably it. So yeah, I fell into the not health and fitness trap of lockdown. I fell into the stay in and get comfortable.
It's so funny, hey, I feel like everyone, like there's like the 3 pillars of lockdown. Like you either got really into like baking, really into fitness, or really into like loungewear, and there was no in between. Like I wonder which brands like really profited over this past year and a half. Like Little Moons definitely.
Well, I suppose the fitness coach as a brand, like, as an entity, like he went viral, didn't he? Like on social, like if he has books and things, I believe, doesn't he? The fitness coach. Those must be doing very well at the moment.
Absolutely. And I wonder how many people are going to drop it. Like, straight, like how much stuff have you bought during lockdown that you will not touch again as on June 21st? Like,
we'll have to do another podcast episode. Everything follow up no longer gets used. I've now started to like think about, when we're out of lockdown, I need to be prepared for that. So like, I'm like, I need to get some new makeup in. So again, like going to TikTok to look for recommendations on that, like what's good, what's not, what's gonna stay on my face for 12 hours after brunch. Like that's what I need to know. So yeah, it's crazy. I think what we can buy. I know another thing I haven't bought yet, but it is I think on my wish list, is the like shampoo scrubber hair thing.
Oh yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, I have bought something else that I saw on Facebook and I can't remember what it is, and that was it. I've got it. It's great. I don't know really what it does, but it's a nice alternative to using my hands. So can't complain.
It's funny because I've seen so many people again like on social recommending to get it because it like stimulates hair growth and all of this, but I've also seen people not recommend it because it tangles your hair and all of this, but I still want to buy it. I'm like, but now I have to know that for myself whether it's going to be good or not. So yeah, that's another thing.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say it's like a life changer, but you know, TikTok said we should buy it, so here we are.
Exactly. Another thing to add to my list of TikTok made me buy. I'm gonna have to create a TikTok of all the stuff, I think, because
Absolutely. Maybe we should do a
Definitely.
roundup on our social media, everything
Yeah.
everyone's bought.
I think we should. I really, really think we should. Cool. So now it's time for feeds to follow, the bonus segment at the end of each coffee break episode where we all recommend a feed we think you should be following. I think I'm going to go first, if that's okay, and throw in there Mrs. Hinch. And I would recommend everyone follow Mrs. Hinch because one, wholesome content including small child and dog. So a winner. And
Say no
another
more.
say no more. And to follow on from that, another sort of trend, if you like, that's come about is like cleaning products. And having just like moved out to my own place, I'm all about that trend. I think I spend again like a good portion of my money on like Fabulosa and Sephora and all of that because Miss Hinch recommends it. What about you, Tyler? Do you have a feed to follow?
I think I'm probably going to go with one of the feeds that I'm following at the moment, and I actually just recently discovered them, as the Awesome Adventure Co. And it's literally just a company that just shares like beautiful images of places that you can go. So I'm just building my list of where I want to go and things I want to do when we're allowed to leave the house again. So definitely I would recommend it.
That is such a good recommendation. I feel like we all need a bit of inspiration,
Yeah,
something to
just
look forward
dreaming about where
to.
you can be to we can fly away to.
That's the type of feed I'm going to have to wait until June to follow because I can't handle the jealousy before that. I can't look at these beautiful destinations knowing I can't go there.
What about you, Ellie?
My favourite one at the moment is a girl called 30 something single. And she's just the girl who's 30 something and single, and she'll post things that are like, you see all these influencers in Dubai and they're like, oh, lockdown sucks, doesn't it? But look at me with my pool, sort of thing. Whereas like this girl, she'll post like the reality of lockdown, like what girls are all doing, like they're just sitting in bed watching Netflix all day. And she'll post like endless amounts of like, she'll be on Tinder and she'll get all these like hilarious comments of guys off Tinder, and she'll post them and be like, look what I've got to choose from, sort of thing. And it's just like the anti-influencer almost, like it's like the anti-Carrie Bradshaw, like I love it. So
I love that.
I would recommend her.
Amazing.
Definitely.
What about you, Chloe?
I'm going to have to stick with the kind of shopping trend that we've had going on in this episode and recommend an account on Instagram called Depop Drama. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but basically, yeah. Depop is like a secondhand clothing app where you can buy and sell like secondhand clothing. And basically this account shares DMs between users, just absolutely ridiculous DMs of people not sending things coming with like extra items, like people forgetting to take things out of their pockets, and the buyer being like, hey, like you kind of left. There's nothing appropriate I can say on the podcast, but or people saying, oh, my nan just died, can I have this for £2, when it's like a £300 dress or something like that, and they're just like, no. So it's a nice kind of drama account to follow if you're into that sort of thing.
That does sound really funny, to be fair. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. You can also connect with us on all major social channels and let us know on our podcast posts what you think about the topics we discussed today. We've been Giraffe Social Media. You've been amazing. We'll see you next time.